Welcome to another Coffee with April episode. This time, we're going to talk about yet another coffee here at April that we just launched. It's this coffee. It's a coffee from Colombia, from farmer Jose Efran, that has a farm called Santa Rosa in the Nariño region. And there's something very interesting with this coffee. Something that really stood out both on the cupping table when tasting this coffee, but also in terms of learning more about this coffee, understanding more about it. A big part of it is the varietal. So it's a washed, processed Castillo varietal. Now, why is this important? It's important for several reasons. Colombia, Central America, South America, we all know that there's so many challenges when it comes to farming. The climate is changing. We have leaf rust, other pests, other insects and diseases that are damaging the plants. So the Castillo varietal is part of an experiment that was launched trying to figure out how to make sustainable, tasty coffee that would be resistant to a lot of these diseases and challenges that they have growing coffee in Colombia. Now, Castillo was launched in the beginning of 2005. That's where they started to release it in Colombia and start properly farming it. Today is one of the most grown varietals in Colombia in general. And there has been a lot of conversations, opinions, thoughts about Castillo in the past. A lot of people taking notice that it's basically coming from both strains of Arabica and Robusta, and there's been several arguments that in some way would affect negatively on the taste of this coffee. And over the years, we've been slowly kind of seeing the taste quality of the Castillo varietal, especially in Colombia, improving. And that's again why we're so excited to be able to launch a coffee like this, because this is, at least to my knowledge, one of the highest growing altitudes of any Castillo that I know. It's up on a staggering 2,240 meters above sea level, which is incredibly high for any kind of coffee anywhere in the world, especially for Nariño, Colombia. So, due to this high growing altitude, we're getting a layer of complexity, especially when it comes to acidity structure, but also in terms of flavor notes, that I find very rarely in Colombian coffees. This is one of the most interesting Colombian coffees I had the pleasure of roasting, and we decided to launch it both filter and espresso. And the cool thing with the coffee is simply how flavor instinct it is and how complex it is, while at the same time being a varietal that is easier to grow, launches bigger yield, so it's more financially sustainable for the farmer, and still being delicious at the same time. So with this coffee, we can expect a lot of apple notes, green apples, pear, sweet leash, but also kind of nougat, citrus, and very kind of floral complex notes as well. This coffee has so many different layers, and it just turns out that with every new roast, with every new test, both in terms of roasting and brewing, we're getting all of these new beautiful flavors of it, which just speaks for the complexity of the coffee. And we're really interested. I believe some of you already know that we worked with a varietal last year called Obata. That was one of the first Obatas ever grown in Costa Rica. And kind of continuing with the Castillo this season is just for us kind of trying to support a more sustainable type of farming. And we're really, really happy to see more of these kind of varietals that are resistant to so many of the diseases and challenges of coffee farming actually coming out tasting not only beautiful but also better than some of the other varietals from these growing countries. So yeah, the coffee is available online. It's available for wholesale. And if you guys have any questions about it, please comment down here. As always, we're really happy if you guys are sharing, and we would love to just share your experience of the Castillo varietal from Colombia and see if we can have a conversation starting. Thank you.